Hi, I'm Dr. Roger Sanger. Give me a couple minutes, will you? I want to talk to you about not a new product, not a new practice management idea. I want to talk to you about what's happening in pediatric dentistry, what I see happening in the next number of years that may influence your practice. And it has to do with three important facts. Number one, the birth rate. You've read things about the birth rate, but the truth of the matter is we're sustaining at about 4 million children a year in terms of birth. Yet in the baby boomer population, the highest ever was 4.3. It's estimated by the year 2020, um, the largest segment of our population will be the pediatric segment. Coupled with that is the fact that today the caries rate is exploding. It's becoming an epidemic. You see that in your practice, and so do a lot of other people. I would venture that many of you thought that by now we would have a caries vaccine out there and there would be no caries. Third, and the good news is that both the government and our private insurance companies are looking at more dental benefits plans for children. We're going to add a lot of children on the dental benefit rolls in the next number of years. So those three things are going to add up to what I consider to be a Pedonomics, which is the economic impact of pediatric dentistry in your practice. I wrote a couple articles this year for Dental Economics. One was entitled Pedonomics, and the other was entitled The Game Changers in Pedonomics. Many of you as general dentists have come out of dental school with very little clinical experience in pediatric dentistry. And then you've tried to find courses where you go to a lecture, maybe an hour lecture, and that's about all you can have with that subject. So there's a tremendous number of game changers out there, both in pulp therapy, both in crown therapy, and in diagnosis and treatment plan, in interproximal restorations that will hopefully transform you from being the dentist of the past into the dentist of the future. We see today that many dentists, when they treat children, do so, but without efficiency and proficiency. Efficiency means, you know, do it faster. Proficiency means do it better. Put the two together. But sometimes that means, oh boy, that's impossible to do. So I'd like to have you consider joining four other pediatric dentists to myself, Dr. Ray Stewart, Dr. Steve Wilson, Dr. Bill Wagner, and Dr. Ray Hegstad, all pediatric dentists, all with a combined experience of over 100 years, wet-fingered in the trenches dentist, that have come together and formed the Institute for the Clinical Practice of Pediatric Dentistry, www.icppd.net. And we started off this year in April with a course at UNLV. It was a 2-day course, very well received, filled up the classroom. Lecture in the morning, then we went in the lab the afternoon and actually did pulp therapy. We actually did crown therapy. We actually did interproximal composite restorations. We did the new bioactive cements. So we not only lectured on it, but we said, here's how we do it. Here's how we do it with both efficiency and proficiency, because we know that will increase your productivity. That's going to increase your profitability. So many of you today talk about, oh, the high cost of rent, the high cost of staff, the high cost of materials and equipment, and yet you don't offset that with getting more faster and better with respect to your procedures, offering more. Parents today want non-toxic material. They want non-metal materials. They want cosmetics just as much for themselves as they do their children. So there's some new game changers in dentistry today, no doubt about that. So I'd like to have you consider coming to one of our courses. There'll be some information attached to this video, but I encourage you to take a look at that. Love to see you at those courses, and I just think that the future for pediatric dentistry is extremely bright. There's a tremendous need for the general dentist and the pediatric dentist to access more children, to that the children that have caries, the children that have good benefit plans, whether they be from the government or from the private sector, that they can come into your practice and receive excellence in terms of health care. Thank you so much for your time.